Hi everybody, this is Rochelle Reynolds and
I'm Dana Reynolds.
And this is an introductory video to kind of tell you a little bit about us here at Master Cut Gems so that when you buy from us, you know who you're dealing with. So Dana, why don't you go on ahead and tell everybody a little bit about your work history and how you ended up here at Master Cut Gems.
Okay. Well, I graduated high school in 1978, and I worked as an apprentice tool and die maker and machinist. Oh gosh, when I was in high school, and then on into after high school. After that, I went into millwright work, fabricating, looking after conveying systems.
Now, is that where you kind of got into the machining?
That was tool and die making.
That was in tool and die making, okay.
Yes, and that was probably about 8 years worth of work when I was in high school. Then, after having my father and I had our own corporation. We looked after large material handling systems like IBM, Ralph Lauren, R.J. Reynolds. Then I started collecting rocks, facet rough. And what caused me to want to do this, when I was probably 20 years old, I bought my mom a pair of amethyst earrings for her birthday because she was February. And I went to a chain jewelry store and I paid $150 for 10 karat gold posts, and they were no more than 2 millimeter chips.
Oh, wow.
Of amethyst. And I was like, that was just a lot of money for nothing. So then as I got into it, that's caused me, I was like, well, is it be that rare? So then I started learning, and, so then, like I said, when we was under contract, I wasn't married, had no kids, so all my life was work, and then started getting into gem cutting. Self-taught. The old man I bought my facet machine from, Paul Burton, he sold me the Ultra Tec, the book Faceting for Amateurs, my laps, dops, and a couple pieces of rough, and said, have at it.
Now that's when you first got involved with your local gem club, correct?
Yes, that was the Forsyth Gem and Mineral Club. So then I joined it, then I joined the Rockingham County Gem and Mineral Club, became the president, vice president, helped teach faceting and all stuff. But this was after I'd done the international and national competitions. This was through the American Society of Gem Cutters. And, got the title, and that's, I think it's a little pompous, but, to me, I never considered myself a supreme master of anything. Maybe goof-ups, but not of, some kind of craft. Even though I've got many state licenses and stuff like that, I was never, that was a little pompous, but then I run into a guy who was from Germany who had gotten the title and told me not to belittle it in front of him. So that caused me to keep my mouth shut. But then we started this business, and it was Hogan's Creek Specialties Incorporated. That was my father and I's business. That's what I sold wholesale to the trade for about 5 years. After he retired and I got all my employees jobs, and then I went into this because I had so much rough that I had bought from Africa, Afghanistan, all this stuff. I knew I could never just cut it all, so I thought I'd go into business. So I was going to do wholesale to the trade only. Well, after about 5 years of that and spending a lot of money for lawyers to collect money that was never paid to me, I decided I'm just going to do wholesale to the world. So first website was kind of a little bit of a disaster. Then I got up with Michael Asa, and his son built my better one. And then, of course, Mark DeRider's built this one, and it's much, much better. So that was pretty much going into that. Got the title, so that's why Master Cut Gems, and it's not that I feel myself to be better than anybody else, because I know I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just that it was a name that just rolled easy off the tongue and stuff like that, so that's how Master Cut Gems got started.
Well, that's great. Well, that's kind of Dana's bio. Well, mine is not nearly that lengthy. When I was in college, that was back in the late 80s. I got a part-time job at a jewelry counter in a I guess, a department store. And I did that part-time for about 2 years, and I really liked it. And then I went back to school, and I still did that part-time. And then after I finished in college, I ended up at a job where I was an assistant manager in a jewelry store for a couple of years. And that's where I really was exposed to a lot of the finer jewelry. It was wonderful. It was a very high-end jewelry store. It is a very high-end jewelry store in our area. And I was able to go to the JCK show in New York with them on a buying trip. I think I did that once or twice. And we went to the Oscar Hyman, we went to Judith Lieber, we went to David Yurman, we went to several design houses and met the designers and actually saw how they made the jewelry and how all of the colored stones were sourced. So it was just fascinating. So really ever since then I've had a very strong love and admiration for fine jewelry. And then when Dana and I met, I just thought it was just wonderful that this was the fella for me because we just had so much in common. But that kind of gives you a little bit of information about us. And we just want to say thank you guys for shopping with us. And we're always here to help you. And if you ever have any kind of questions, whether it's technical or more about fashion, then you know who you can ask. So anyway, thanks a bunch for watching us. And you can see more of our videos here on our website. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.